Hey there, welcome back. Everyone remembers Happy Days and the Brady Bunch, but today we're diving into the weird, wonderful, and totally forgotten TV shows that only a true 1970s kid could name without Googling. Number 1. The Girl with Something Extra, 1973 to 1974.
You can read everybody's mind.
Of course not.
Oh,
Just some people.
what people?
It had Sally Field, it had telepathy, and it had one of the best theme songs you completely forgot existed. She was a newlywed who could read minds, which sounds like fun, until your husband tries to sneak a thought about the neighbor's tan line. A sitcom with ESP? Only in the 70s, folks. Number 2. Big John, Little John, 1976.
Big John has a problem, as you can plainly see. 1 minute he's 40, the next he's 33.
You think your teenage years were awkward? Try being a grown man who randomly turns into a 12-year-old boy. And back again. That was the actual plot. One sip from a magical fountain of youth and boom, your biology class gets real complicated. It only lasted a season, probably because no one could figure out how to list both actors in the credits. Number 3. Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, 1973 to 1975.
Sigmund, you are a rotten sea monster!
Sigmund, you're through!
Scram! Get out of here!
Nothing like a day out on the beach.
If you were a Saturday morning kid, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters was pure gold. It had everything the Croft brothers did best: foam costumes, campy charm, and plots that felt like they were written during a sugar crash. The theme song was catchy, the special effects were hilarious, and the message was always clear. If your best friend is a rejected sea monster, you stick by him. That's childhood loyalty, 1970s style. Number 4. Apple's Way, 1974 to 1975. You want a show about a city family moving to a small town and learning the power of neighborly kindness? Before Little House had its moment, Apple's Way tried. Warm-hearted, slower-paced, and absolutely packed with plaid shirts. No lasers, no car chases, just feelings and fences. Number 5. Quark, 1977 to 1978. From the guy who created Get Smart, this was a sci-fi spoof with a garbage-collecting space crew. Think Star Trek, but instead of boldly going, they just took out the trash. Oh, and 2 crew members were identical clones named Betty, both of them. Yep. Number 6. The Fitzpatricks, 1977 to 1978. It was your typical working-class Irish Catholic family. 6 kids, not enough bedrooms, and a teenage heartthrob older brother named Sean, played by future heartthrob Clark Brandon. It didn't last long, but the real ones remember, especially the girls with a crush. Number 7. The Croft Super Show, 1976 to 1978.
See you next week on the really cool Croft Super Show.
Don't get left behind.
Oh, you wanted weird? You got weird. Sid and Marty Croft brought you Wonderbug Doctor. Shrinker and Electra Woman and Dinah Girl all rolled into one glittery, low-budget variety hour. It was chaos in spandex, and Saturday mornings never recovered. Number 8. Lucan, 1977 to 1978. Boy raised by wolves, literally, grew up, went to college, and tried to blend in, while occasionally growling at authority figures. It was part drama, part action, and all kinds of confusing. Every episode had you wondering, when's he gonna howl? Number 9. Dusty's Trail, 1973 to 1974.
The path of Dusty's trail, oh, Dusty's trail, Dusty's trail. A stage and a wagon a heading west.
Basically Gilligan's Island, but with covered wagons. Bob Denver swapped his sailor hat for a cowboy one, and the rest of the cast felt eerily familiar. Let's just say if you liked Gilligan, this felt like déjà vu on horseback. All right, real quick, looks like a whole bunch of you watching aren't subscribed. So let's make a deal. I'll keep digging up these lost gems from your childhood, and you just hit that little button. If this is your first video, no pressure. But if you've been here before, come on, help a guy out. It actually makes a big difference. And hey, if you're on Facebook, come find me there too. It's where all the nostalgia lovers are swapping stories, sharing memories, and keeping the good times alive. See you there. Number 10. Land of the Lost, 1974 to 1976.
Marshall, Will, and Holly on the routine expedition met the greatest earthquake.
Now this one barely qualifies as forgotten. But let's be honest, unless you were parked in front of the TV with a Pop-Tart and Tang on a Saturday morning, Land of the Lost might have slipped right out of your brain. The special effects were, let's call them ambitious. Claymation dinosaurs that jittered across the screen like they were dodging rent. Sets that looked suspiciously like papier-mâché and aquarium gravel. But that didn't matter. This show had heart and just enough mystery to make you feel like you were watching something important. Number 11. When Things Were Rotten, 1975.
Once upon a time when things were rotten, not just food but also kings were rotten. Everybody kicked the peasants. Things were bad and that ain't good.
Mel Brooks brought his off-the-wall style to TV with this Robin Hood spoof. It was pun-heavy, fast-talking, and brilliantly dumb in all the right ways. Problem is, it was too clever for its own good. Cancelled in 13 episodes, but still quoted by exactly 12 people in America. Number 12. The New Adventures of Wonder Woman, 1975 to 1979. Okay, not entirely forgotten, but the early World War II era episodes with the spinning costume change? Chef's kiss. Linda Carter made a generation believe you could stop bullets with bracelets and still rock a headband like a queen. Number 13. Run, Joe, Run, 1974 to 1975. This one's for the dog lovers. A German shepherd wrongly accused of attacking his handler goes on the run, helping people along the way. The fugitive meets Lassie. Every episode had you rooting for the pup and crying by the end credits. Number 14. The Banana Splits, 1968 to 1970, reruns through the 70s. Okay, technically this one started in the late 60s, but if you were a kid in the 70s, you definitely saw the reruns. The Banana Splits Adventure Hour was a psychedelic explosion of chaos, costumed mascots, and music videos long before MTV even existed. You had 4 costumed goofballs, Fleagle, Bingo, Drooper, and Snorky, running around in slapstick segments between cartoons like Arabian Nights and Danger Island. Oh, Chongo? Ring any bells? The show felt like someone threw a rock band, a circus, and a Hanna-Barbera studio into a blender and hit banana puree. Number 15. The Bugaloos, 1970 to 1972.
The Bugaloos?
If you remember a group of British kids dressed like insects, flying around on wires and singing psych pop in Technicolor forests, you didn't dream it. That was the Bugaloos, and yes, it was even weirder than it sounds. The show felt like part Beatles cartoon, part glitter-soaked fever dream. But for a couple seasons, it worked. The Bugaloos were sweet, groovy, and oddly calming, even when the story made no sense. And let's face it, you still remember that theme song, don't you? Number 16. The Secrets of Isis, 1975 to 1977.
"Oh, my queen," said the royal sorcerer to Hatshepsut, With this amulet, you and your descendants are endowed by the goddess Isis.
Before Wonder Woman spun into action, there was Isis. Not the Egyptian goddess exactly, but a high school science teacher who turned into one when she said, "Oh, mighty Isis." Suddenly she had super strength, could talk to animals and solve crimes, all while rocking a white mini dress and Cleopatra headband. It was part of the Shazam Isis hour, which made Saturdays a religious experience. If you had a TV tray and a bowl of alphabets, you were golden. Number 17. Bigfoot and Wild Boy, 1976 to 1979.
Out of the great Northwest comes the legendary Bigfoot, who 8 years ago saved a young child lost in the vast wilderness.
Leave it to Sid and Marty Croft to ask, what if Bigfoot adopted a kid and raised him in the woods? That's literally the show. Bigfoot had super strength. Wild Boy wore fringed suede everything. And every week, they battled aliens, mutants, or forest-dwelling criminals. The special effects were ambitious. But to a kid in 1978, that intro with Bigfoot hurling trees was peak TV. Bonus points if you watched this and still had time to rewatch Planet of the Apes reruns. Number 18. West Wind, 1975 to 1976. This one's deep-cut territory, like aired on Saturday mornings and then disappeared into the Bermuda Triangle, deep. West Wind followed a family sailing around the Pacific in a boat called, what else? West Wind. Think the Swiss family Robinson meets Gilligan's Island, with a lot more diving masks and tropical maps. It had volcanoes, storms, pirates, possibly sea monsters, or maybe I just imagined that part. Either way, it was the ultimate wish fulfillment show. Parents who actually let their kids explore mysterious islands. Try getting away with that today without a waiver and 3 helmets. There you have it. 18 forgotten shows from that sweet spot between Saturday morning cereal and bedtime yawns. The plots were wild, the acting shaky, but the vibe? Unmistakably 70s. If even a few of these rang a bell, you're one of us. TV dials, antenna gymnastics, and all. Before you Google West Wind to make sure you didn't imagine it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll keep digging up the good stuff. You just keep tuning in. And hey, drop a comment. What forgotten show had you racing to the couch, snack in hand, before the theme song kicked in? Until next time, stay groovy.